For as long as I could remember, my life had been one of opulence and extravagance. Born into wealth, I had grown accustomed to the finer things: a penthouse apartment with panoramic views of the city, a wardrobe filled with designer labels, and a gourmet chef at my beck and call. But as I sat alone in my top-floor apartment, staring out at the chaos unfolding below, I realized that none of my riches could protect me from the horrors of the world outside. It began as whispers on the news, a strange illness sweeping through the city, causing fever, delirium, and violent outbursts. At first, it seemed like a localized outbreak, something that would be contained and forgotten. But as the days passed, the whispers grew louder. The news reports turned frantic, showing footage of people behaving erratically, attacking one another with a savage ferocity. It was as if a wave of madness had swept over the city. I watched the reports from the safety of my apartment, feeling a growing sense of unease. I had always been detached from the world's problems, shielded by my wealth and privilege. But now, I couldn't ignore the reality unfolding beyond my floor-to-ceiling windows. The city was descending into chaos. Streets once bustling with life were now filled with the undead, zombies as they were being called. They roamed aimlessly, their vacant eyes and bloodied mouths a stark reminder of the horror that had befallen us. I knew I had to act quickly if I wanted to survive. I had my apartment stocked with provisions, canned food, bottled water, medical supplies, and a small arsenal of weapons. It was a contingency plan, something I had prepared for in case of societal collapse. I activated the security measures in my building, sealing off the lower floors and ensuring that only those with clearance could access my penthouse. It was a fortress in the sky, a sanctuary from the madness below. As days turned into weeks, I settled into a routine of isolation. I would wake up to the sound of groans and shuffling outside my apartment, a constant reminder of the world I had left behind. I spent my days watching the news, monitoring the situation on the streets, and scanning radio frequencies for any sign of survivors or government assistance. But the news grew increasingly bleak, and there was no sign of rescue. One day, as I was gazing out at the city below, I saw something that sent a shock of adrenaline through my veins. Among the sea of undead, there was a figure, a living, breathing human. I couldn't believe my eyes. It was a woman, her clothes tattered and her face marked with exhaustion. She moved cautiously, as if aware of the danger that surrounded her. I knew I had to act quickly. I rushed to the building's intercom system and made contact with her. She was wary at first, understandably so, but I assured her that I meant no harm. I told her about my top-floor sanctuary and urged her to make her way to the building. It was a risky decision, one that could jeopardize my own safety. But something compelled me to help her, to break free from the isolation that had driven me to the brink of madness. Hours later, I heard a knock at my apartment door. I cautiously opened it, and there she stood, a young woman with haunted eyes and a grateful smile. Her name was Mia, and she had been on the run since the outbreak began. We shared stories of survival and loss, and for the first time in weeks, I felt a glimmer of hope. Mia had a determination and resilience that reminded me of the strength of the human spirit. With Mia's arrival, we began to formulate a plan to escape the city. It was clear that the situation was deteriorating, and our supplies were dwindling. We couldn't remain in the penthouse forever.